Hi, my name is Liz, and I'm going to show you how to make paper poinsettias for all your holiday decorating or scrapbooking needs. I just recently learned how to make paper flowers like this one from watching YouTube videos, and I thought, oh, that's so pretty, I could make it with red paper and instead of bows, put them on holiday gifts. And then I kind of was just having a lot of fun making different paper flowers, and quite fortuitously kind of discovered the poinsettia design, and so I thought, oh, well, let me try making poinsettias, you know, that deliberately look like them, and this is what I've come up with. So it's using very basic designs that I've learned from other people's paper flower videos, so I recommend you watch all the paper flower videos that you can, because you can learn a lot of different techniques. Mine are fairly simple, so feel free to tweak these as you want, and I'm sure I'm not the first person to do this. So to start, you need 3 circles of paper. You can use squares if you don't have a circle cutter, or maybe you feel that you aren't confident that you can make nice circles. The circles don't have to be perfect. I mean, you can see this one has kind of got a little deformity there, but they have to be circular enough that you can divide them into a symmetrical shape. So it's kind of your call depending on how you feel. 2 of the same size, one that's 1 inch smaller. So these are 5 inches in diameter circles, and this one is 4 inches in diameter. If you do a square, you would do a 5 by 5, a 5 by 5, and a 4 by 4. But basically the folding technique using a square is the same. I just found that a circle is much easier to fold into 6. So first step, of course, would be to fold it into half. And then thirds, which would then give you your 6. Now, sometimes you have to fold it more than once to get the thirds just right. You want it to be as close to actual thirds, and therefore 6 as you can, because it makes it more symmetrical. So do your best. I think the biggest mistake I found that I make is I fold over, and this part here will get folded, and then that just gives you a really ugly, kind of awkward looking flower. The poinsettia blooms are actually like leaves, so they have a very leaf shape. So you can use a template or a stencil, but I just cut it free and just cut a leaf shape. If you're someone like me and you have a lot of trouble with scissors, it's easier to turn the paper than it is to turn the scissors. So you'll get a much cleaner cut that way. You be careful, of course, that you don't eliminate the connecting between the 6 petals, so that when you open it up, they are connected. See, I have some trouble right here. You can see so clearly I didn't fold this perfectly. So if that happens, it's okay. Just cut a little bit to separate the leaves, because what we're going to do is we're going to fold each leaf in half. And if it's not cut enough, you'll have a really hard time trying to fold it nicely. A note on paper, I wouldn't cheap out on the paper. The flimsier the paper, the flimsier your poinsettia will get, and it'll really show the creases and folds. So it's your call. I wouldn't use cardstock. It would be a devilish time to cut, but I wouldn't cheap out. So you do that for each of your circles. It's really simple. You're just going to then layer them on. Kind of, I stagger them a little bit so that they look more full. Whoops. Flying poinsettia. And then you can put like a bling or a pearl or something in the middle. Now to make the leaves, you're gonna make a circle that's 1 inch larger in diameter than the biggest circle you use for your petals. So since I had 5 inch, this is a 6 inch circle. And all you do is fold it in half, but this time go ahead and cut along the fold you made, so cut it into a semicircle. But then just like you did before, fold it into thirds. Cut the leaf shape just like you did with the petals. This is going to be some funky shaped leaves. There we go. Then what you can do, if you're really a stickler, you can take an embossing tool and you can do the veins of the leaves. I just fold mine in half to give it that kind of bump that the leaves have. You could also take ink, you know, and go on the leaves of your petal, go around the petals and the leaves with the ink. Whatever you, depends I guess on how real you want your flower to look. So these are slightly stylized. And then of course, because the leaves, if you put it right in the middle, leaves don't really show, so I kind of offset it just a little bit. So you can see it's not quite in the center, but close. And then I kind of curl with my fingers. You can take a pencil, depends on how curly you want the leaves to be. This one here, I made the leaves really curly. I curled them around a pencil. So kind of your preference. And there you have a beautiful poinsettia. You can see the smaller one here and here, I didn't change the size. I did 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches. So you can see the difference that it looks. I think they're cute, but I don't think they really look like poinsettias. Here's one I did in white, but this one I did do the smaller one. And I think these look much more like the actual flower than those two. So there you have it. That's how you make a paper poinsettia.